let's say going back even further in our conversation at the beginning when you mentioned, hey, somebody put something out there with zero depth and quality, yet it has, umpteen thousand data points associated between reactions, comments where people go, yeah, that's good. And they're like, you didn't add to the conversation there, individual. So thank you for that. They have data that says, well, people are engaging. Therefore, it must be worthwhile. But I think the other side of that tension is what you mentioned about, is it good for my audience? Right? Because so much of marketing that I've been a part of with working in the digital agency space is, well, what's good for the company? Not always like what's clickbaity for the audience, right? What can we do to get them to give us our engagement, our hit of dopamine, but not necessarily what helps them make progress. So how do you help people think through, well, I have data that says, 15,000 people on average are going to engage with this repost of an Adam Grant quote. But maybe that's not really the contribution they should be making. It's not adding quality. How do you hold those in tension?
Yeah. So I think when you have, that level of data, that also tells a story too, because then when you add those pieces of metadata to bottom line. So if you take, I've got 15,000 engagements and I've got 200 comments on this post. Mm-hmm. Now let's look at a date stamp. What was our bottom of funnel during that time period? Did I have people come to my website? Did I have people fill out a form? Did I have people do any of my call to actions? Did I have anybody set up a discovery call to talk to one of my salespeople? And you can take, when you have large amounts of data that seem good, but you're not getting the type of reward or response or whatever your end goal is. Like you always have to have that. What am I actually trying to accomplish from putting this content out there? Typically, from a company perspective, you want to get discovery calls, you want to get more business, you want sales. From a personal perspective, I want to get more followers, I want to get people to eventually buy my book. So what is my end goal? And if the data that I'm seeing and the engagement that I'm getting isn't driving towards that end goal, then something is still wrong. And it's, sure, you're getting kind of the example of the email. You're getting a lot of opens, but if you're not getting responses, if you're not getting meetings set up, then it's not successful. So you have to do something differently. So same thing with the social. Yeah, sure, you're getting tons of, the fear of missing out, right? The FOMO. I don't want to be the person that, doesn't like doing good things. So I want to click this, but I'm not going to that person's website. I'm not reaching out to set up a meeting with that person. I'm not buying something from that person. So sure, they got like you said, the dopamine hit, but it really wasn't, there was no value derived from either person. I didn't get anything from their content and they didn't get anything from me.